Okay, welcome to part 2 of the carbon filter, and today I'm going to be making the carbon filter. So I'm Glenn Vickery, and welcome to Kiwi Bushcraft and Survival. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get our end cap here. You want a little bit of wood underneath your vise, okay. And the first thing we want to do is make sure we're pushing down on the wood, so it should be solid. There's a little bit of movement there, so I'm not happy with that. We'll be pushing down on the, it's a little bit better there. Okay, this is solid. We want to grab our nail or our punch. I'm just going to be turning on the light that I've got so I can see what I'm doing. We want to guesstimate the center of the end cap, so I'm happy with it about there. On this particular one there's like a A in the middle, and then we want to tap it. Too bad, and tap it again. Okay, so that's quite good. I'm happy with that. That's about central. And the next thing we want to do is I'm going to start off with a 4mm drill bit. Okay, 4mm drill bit. And I think I can turn that down a bit now. A 4mm drill bit. We want to put that into our drill. Make sure it's seated well. It's flush, give it a bit of a tighten up. Grab out our key chuck. Give it a bit of a tighten. Okay. Next thing we want to do, it's very important that we we keep everything sort of flat and not moving. Next thing we want to do is get our drill. I'll turn this off to see if that makes it a bit better for you. Actually, now I can't see in the hole. Okay, so now we want to keep this vertical, okay, and in where we just put the punch. Okay. Right, so that's looking pretty good. Next thing we want to do is we want to go up in drill bit size. Okay, so I'm now going to go up to a 6. And the reason why we want to go up in increments is because we don't want to damage this cap. Okay, we want to keep this straight up and down again. Now if you've got a bench press, bench drill press, that'd be much better. Okay, a bench drill press will be much better. Because it'll absolutely make certain that your drilling is going to be vertical, straight up and down. Okay, so we'll put the number 6 drill bit back. Now it's up to you what sizes you want to go up. I'm now going to go to a number 8. Give that a nice tighten, make sure it's all on all good. Make sure it's all nice and straight, nice and vertical. Next one I'm going to go to is a number 10. Push that right in. Give it a tighten up on the chuck. Make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, now we're putting in the number 10. Make sure it's up nice and straight. Okay. And now we go to our last one, number 11. Now when you get the number up to the number 11 millimeter drill bit, what we want to do is, you can see here where I'm just drilling in, and then I'm not wriggling it around, okay, especially with this number 11. We don't want to be moving the drill around like that, okay? Because if you do that, it's going to make the hole bigger. All right, we don't want to do that. The other thing we want to make sure we do is, like with the drill bit here, we want to make sure it's on just normal drill and not on hammer. Some of these drills have hammer, which means it shakes the drill like that. The hammer one is for drilling through concrete and stuff like that. We don't want that. We just want the normal drill. Okay, so it's nice and smooth. Okay, alright, so now we want to be nice and thing, and we want to go through again. Okay, and I've just pulled it straight out. Alright, without making any angular movement. Okay, I'm just going to put that, I'm going to take the 10mm, correction, the 11mm drill bit off for now. Alright, chuck down there, put that down there. Okay, cool. Take a bit of pressure off that. Okay. Alright, and that's where we are at the moment. There's the hole that we've drilled. Okay, up to a size 11mm. Okay, 11mm hole. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip it upright. In fact, I think I'll do the other one. I'll just do the other one first, and we'll go through that same process. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just do the one so you know what we've got to do. Alright? Wasting time. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to tighten this up again. Make sure it's down. Push it down on the wood. Make sure it's all nice and flush. Tighten it up with the vice grip. Don't make it too tight because you'll crack it. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to grab our taper, our tap, okay, and our crescent here, okay, and okay. I always get them confused between crescent and wrench. Anyway, so what we want to do now is we want to keep the tap straight up and down. We don't want it going on we want it straight up and down. We don't want it going on an angle like that or whatever, because as we drill in, as we tap and create, you know, we don't want it going in on an angle. We want our connectors to be able to screw straight in nicely. Now, if we were doing this on a bench press, you could use a bench press drill, and and put the bit into that, and then just wind it around so it's directly straight up and down. So if you're lucky enough to have a bench press, kudos to you. Alright, whereas I don't, so. Alright, so what we want to do here, we just apply a little bit of pressure, not much, okay, and we go around just very slowly. We want to keep it straight up and down. We don't want it going on an angle at all. Okay, there's no rush with this part. You don't want to rush it. With just a little bit of pressure, not much. You don't want to be forcing it down. Just let the taper do its own job. As you start to feel it bite a little bit, turn it back a bit, and carry on taping. You can get down on your hands and on your knees and check that it's all horizontal. Check from different sides, up top. You want it straight up and down. Okay, go a fair turn. Every time you come back, or every time we turn clockwise, we're cutting in to the plastic. Okay, and when we cut in, that's good. We're creating the thread. And as we come back, when we turn it anti-clockwise a little bit, we're releasing all the plastic that we just cut. Okay, so there's no rush. You don't want to, just take your time. Okay, once it's cutting in on its own, you don't need to apply any more pressure. Just let the tool do the job for you. Let it do what it's supposed to do. Now you can do like a half turn or a quarter turn and back it up a quarter turn. Quarter turn, back it up a quarter turn. Alright. A quarter turn, back it up. Back it up about a quarter of a turn. Do a quarter of a turn and back it up. Release all the threads that we just cut. Back it up. Go again. Back it up. Here I'm going to back it up a bit because it is grabbing a bit. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. And we just want to keep doing this. Cops are chasing someone. It's a regular occurrence around this area. Okay, now that it's all set in place, we can almost speed up the process a little. And what we want to do is there's three threads at the top. We want to be about 3 threads down from the top, and I'm finding that allows us to get it when we screw in the quick disconnects. We're able to screw the quick disconnect in flush with the actual end cap. Feels good. Alright, I'm just going to get down a bit lower now. I want to keep an eye on the threads. So we're up to about 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 threads at the moment. Now you could put oil on this if you wanted to, if you're pedantic like that. Certainly you want to do that if you're doing this to metal. 1, 2, 3. Still at 1, 2, we're up to about 3, almost 3. Here we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, it's about 3. Alright, so now we can start winding it out. Let's move this box out of my way. Winding it out. Can take this crescent off. Okay, and that's it, done. Okay, so now what we want to do now is you might get some burrs on the top. Okay, so we've got the sandpaper here just to clean any burrs off. Now I've got 150 number 150 sandpaper here, 150 grit. Okay, so it's not very rough at all. You could use a higher, well, I think it's 150, it might be 1,500, I don't know, I haven't really checked. Doesn't feel like 150, I think it must be about 1,500. But anyway. Okay, so that's looking okay. I want to take it off the pressure here and spin it around and do the same thing on the inside and get rid of any burrs, unwanted burrs. Okay. Now you could technically you know, get a knife in there or a razor and just, you know, thing the edges up if you really wanted to. Cut the edges off, but we don't want to damage the threads that we've just made. Okay. Right, so what I like to do once I've done that, put it in the vise again, and I like to go through manually, okay, and just gently screw it in. See, it's grabbing hold. Just to make sure there's no bits of plastic still any burrs that have still in there. Back it out. Okay, check that. Right. It's looking okay. Okay, so that's what we do for that. I'm not going to do the other one right now. I'll do that when we're off camera. But what we're going to do now is, I'll just show you, see if you can, where are we? See if you can see any of the I don't know if you can see any of the I'll come in from this side. See if I can. There you go. You can see the threads in there nice and clearly now. So that's what we're trying to create. Okay. Next thing we've got to do is we don't have to put it in the vise for this. Okay, it's not necessary. Right? You can if you want. We want to put this on. Okay, so I'll do the female one. We want to put some tape on first. And the tape goes on, if we screw this in clockwise, okay, righty-tighty, okay, so turning it to the right, we want to put some tape on, plumber's tape here. Okay, it helps to seal it from leaking. Alright. It's so hard to work with this stuff. I'm going to cut some off. That's what we had the scissors for. I forgot to mention that in the last video. Those that watched it, you probably noticed that I forgot to mention the scissors. Anyway, we want to go righty-tighty, so you spin it to the right. We want to go and get this in camera. Let me just bring this up a bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so we go around. Okay, we wrap that on. I don't even think I have it in camera shot. Sorry about that. So we wrap this on, and we want to go, that was 1, 2, 3, 3 times. So 2 to 3 times is suffice. And what we want to do is cut that off. This is where you wish you had like 3 pairs of hands. Try and keep it in shot for you. You should really make sure your scissors are nice and sharp. These ones are like, I don't know, doable. Anyway, let's bring this down. Okay, so now we've got our plumber's tape on our female end, so this is going to be used for the top part of the filter, and what we want to do now is screw it in. Okay, so just gently screw it in. Grab the 5/8 and we want to screw it in. Alright, and we want it to go down preferably flush onto, oh, I feel a little bit of movement there. Let's just tighten that up a little bit. Not too tight. Now you don't want to strip these, so if you feel it getting too tight, you want to back off a bit. Okay, so that's nice there. That's nice and flush. Alright, let's bring this up a bit. You can see that it's nice and flush with the top of the cap. You can see here how it's central to the actual cap itself. It protrudes through. So far. Okay, and again we like there. Okay, so that's how she's looking. So that's the female quick disconnect attached, and what we're going to do now is we want to add the rubber ring to the inside. Okay, so I'll just come behind the camera so I can get a better look with this thing for you. Okay, so we put the rubber ring in. Push it all in. Get it all nice and seated in there. Okay, if you've got the, you can use the back of the nail if you need to, just to get it down there so it's nice and flush. Normally I would use the tweezers, the back end of the tweezers, which is not so sharp. Okay, so that's all in there, nice and flush down in there. Okay, here we go. Okay. And then the next piece we want to add in is one of the charcoal. There's different versions of this stuff that you can put in a fish tank filter. Okay, I got the charcoal one. There's different types. I got the charcoal, and well, it's a charcoal filter, so why not have a charcoal aquarium filter thing in here? Okay, so the next thing here is we've cut these up earlier, right? And it's just cutting it to about the diameter of the end cap, and we just want to feed that in, feed it down, okay, evenly, push it around the end that's on the inside here. Okay, and that's about it. Alright, so that's it done. That's this end cap completed. Okay, now the next thing that we would do, okay, is this one here. Well, I'm not going to attach them just yet. Okay, we're going to leave that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to do the second part to attach the male quick disconnect to the other end cap, and that's about it. So just remember, when you tap this out, when you find the center, just eyeball it. Okay, just eyeball it. In fact, some of these have already got a little dot on the inside. It's a letter, either A or B or whatever, and just find it around there and just eyeball it, and just tap it at that point there, okay, and you'll be fine. Alright, so anyway, as I said, I'm going to pause it there and finish this next part, and then we'll carry on. So I'll be with you shortly. Okay, welcome back. So here's the next one. Okay, the male end. It's got the rubber ring and the aqua aquarium filter, right, charcoal filter there. This one here, I rushed it a bit and I didn't get it like exactly in the center, but hey, it'll do its job. Okay. Next thing we do is we want to do the male end first. Okay, so normal story, how we screw it on is the way that this goes on. So righty tighty, and we want to go around, you know, two, 2 to 3 times around it. Okay. Now I think that has sufficed there, and I forgot to bring down the scissors, damn it. I'll just grab a knife. This stuff is so annoying to work with, but it's one of those things, you got to have it. Okay. Alright. So we've got that one there done, and this is the male end. Okay. The female end, as I said, the female end has, this filter goes in at the top, and there's a bit of a lip there. You can see there's a lip in there where it fits in, whereas on this one, on the bottom end, there's no lip. Okay, and remember there's always the yellow, oh not the yellow, the arrow. It's hard to see, but there's an arrow on there pointing down, which means the flow rate goes down that way. And so that's the end that the male is going to go on. Okay, so we now can screw the male cap on. And screw it on until it can't go any further. Okay, and you'll feel it. That's nice and tight there. Okay, the next part is we want to do the female end. Okay, so let's do the female end now. So again, we're going to screw it onto the right. Better come up into the camera shot. We're going to screw it onto the right, go that way. So that's the way our tape is going to go, in a clockwise direction. Bet the plumbers must get really good at using this stuff. There must be a way. This is probably the first time it's really gone on nicely for me without too much hassle. Okay, I'll roll that up a bit. Get it about there. And cut it. Be careful with this knife, it's freaking sharp. This knife's probably sharper than my butcher knife now. Okay, give that a bit twist. Now, before we put this female lid on, okay, we want to fill this filter here up with activated charcoal. Okay, and as I said, activated charcoal is just better than normal charcoal. Okay, it will prevent, it will catch a lot more metals and whatnot else. Okay. So now you want to fill this up, okay, and you don't want to go too high. Okay. Alright, so just below the top is suffice. Okay, if you go too high, you could have problems with the quick disconnect out pokes through the back underneath the thing there. We don't want that. Okay, so now we get our filter, we drop the white filter inside it. Okay, alright, you'll see it's a nice tight fit because it's hitting the aqua filter on the bottom. Okay, the aquarium filter, charcoal filter, and then we put this other one on the top here. If we hear it grating, that means we've got too much activated charcoal in our white filter there. Okay, so then we just put this one here on, twisting it in. Go as far as we can, nicely there, and there she's done. That's it, all completed. Now what you can do is you can run it through with cold water, run the tap through here and out the end. That's what people do to technically clean out the charcoal, as in charcoal will normally leave a black residue over a period of time, you know, a litre or 2 litres of water, and it will be sort of greyish. Now when I did my first one, this is my first one, when I did my first one and I ran it through the water, I was just getting clear water straight away. I didn't get any dark coloured water, I got no black water, nothing. And I ran it for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, and there was just nothing. It was just clear. I drank the water, it was fine. It's just nothing, not even cloudy. And I don't know if that's because of the white filter at first, and then the aqua charcoal filter, alright, and then it just coming out. It just wasn't coming out black. So I don't know if I was just lucky or whatever, but I didn't have any problems at all, you know, and with colouring. So I will test this one out as well to see how it goes, but you know, not a problem. Now if I really wanted to, I could, if I wanted to have 2 filters running, okay, I could just connect them like this now, okay, male to female, boom, and now I've got a double filter. Okay, I've never seen anyone on YouTube doing that, having it like that. Female at the top, male at the bottom. Just like most gravity-fed filtration systems, you always have the female at the top and the male at the bottom, and that also reminds you that that's the top and the male's at the bottom. Okay, here's the male down here. So there's a double whammy right there. If I really had really bad water, or it had radiation in it or whatever, I could link multiple filters to clear out that whatever in the water as a backup. Obviously if I was you know, carrying it in your pack, you can disconnect one, pull it out, just carry one on you. I can't even remember which one was the second one I just made. Let me have a look. It must be this one here. It'll be this one because it's more on an angle, that bottom part. Yeah, so all goods. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the tutorial of the DIY my take on the carbon filter. Remember that if your activated carbon runs out, that's not a problem. You can, if your activated carbon runs out, or you're in the bush long term, whatever, you can always use the charcoal from your fire. Okay, just get the burnt wood that's got charcoal on it, scrape it off, or create a oven where you're creating your own charcoal in copious amounts, or whatever you want to do, and you can use that charcoal. Okay, activated charcoal is better, but it's not absolutely necessary. Okay, you can get away with normal charcoal, but if you've got activated charcoal, obviously you want to use that first. Even in gas masks, I'm pretty sure they use activated charcoal to protect from biological, chemical warfare agents, viruses and blah 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 and whatever else. So activated charcoal is the way to go. Don't ask me what's the difference, as in why is it different. You'd have to do research on that yourself. Anyway, thanks for coming along. I hope that I've been able to help some other people out there and pass some new ideas off. So thank you for those that have shared their ideas originally. It helps others like myself to learn from you and then come up with other things on top of that, and I'm sure others will come up with their own way of doing the reusable, refillable carbon filters. And it's all about sharing the knowledge and making things better and for all of us to improve. So share, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you want to see more, just subscribe and you'll get my latest videos. I've got a new video coming up that's I intend to do over the next week or so. It's going to be a really good one. It's about my what I carry in my pack, but also the rest of my gravity-fed filtration system that I'm currently working on. I've got to do some things with that. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next video. See you later. Bye-bye.